This is another episode of Standup Comedy, your host and MC, celebrating 40-plus years on the fringe of show business. Stories, interviews, and comedy sets from the famous and not so famous. Here's your host and MC, Scott Edwards.
Hi, and welcome to this week's show. I got another special event set up for you on this podcast. You may remember a little over a month ago, I did Cornacopia of Comedy, which is basically a quick mix of a variety of entertainment in short segments that'll move pretty quickly through the podcast. So we'll be calling this one Cornacopia of Comedy, the sequel. I hope you enjoy it. Let me tell you about this podcast and what makes it so unique. Later on, to close the podcast show, we have some music from Robert Aguayo, talented musician out of Venice Beach, California. You may recognize him. He was on The Love Boat. Anyway, he did the theme song for our TV show, Live at Laughs, so we're going to share that with you later. We also have comic ventriloquist Jay Johnson, and remember from the Soap TV show. Also, the very funny impressionist Kevin Pollack, who you'll recognize from many movies. He's a longtime poker player and has had two of his own HBO specials. And a song put together by Carlos Alazraqui, who does a lot of cartoons and was also on Reno 911. And now let's kick off this Cornacopia of Comedy, the sequel. Our first act today is Ronny Kenny. This guy was a premier master of ceremonies. He does a lot of great quick jokes and was always very entertaining. He did appear in the movie The Comics Open and has done stand-up on stage for over 30 years. So let's hear a little bit of Ronny Kenny.
Thank you very much. Good to see you. I was excited about doing this. I got too excited today. I did a sit-up. Have you tried one of those lately? I got real lightheaded. I stopped that immediately, boy. I got up, grabbed a beer and a cigarette, and laid back down again. I'm not an exercise guy. You are what you eat. What's that supposed to mean? Do I look deep-fried to you people? Got to get new friends. My friends are always bragging about their exercise. They're always going, "Hey, Ronnie, I ran 5 miles today." That's great. I own a car. I drove 40 miles with a beer between my legs, all right? My buddies drink whiskey. I don't know if whiskey drinkers are smarter than beer drinkers, but they do think fast. They come out of, get great excuses to get out of trouble. It's like a cop pulls over a whiskey drinker. "Do you know you were speeding? I caught you going 85 there on the radar." "That's impossible, sir. This is a stealth car. I bought it from the Air Force. You can't see it on the radar." "Sorry to bother you. Go ahead there." The same cop pulls over a beer drinker. "Do you know you were speeding?" Of course I was speeding. I'm out of beer." "See, all these cans are empty in the back." Cops are serious anymore. Cops ask dumb questions, or I don't know what the right answer is. I got pulled over recently. Cop says to me, "You always drive that fast?" Yes, sir, I do." "I'm glad you finally stopped me. I was getting tired." "Oh, yeah. Did you know you were leaving?" I said, "Yeah, but I thought I was doing darn well for somebody that has as much to drink as I have." And that last one's the wrong answer. There's nothing funny about drunk driving. We all agree with that. But there's a law that goes too far. It's in every state in the union. Did you know this? You can now be arrested for drunk driving on a bicycle. Yeah, that just amazes me. Was that a major problem in this country? Guys are selling crack, shooting Uzis. We can't get drunk and go for a bike ride. Is that... Can't wait to see these commercials. Think before you touch that kickstand. If you've been drinking, don't get behind those handlebars, mister. Friends don't let friends pedal drunk. Yeah. What happens? You're too drunk to get home, you call a toll-free number, a guy comes out on a bicycle built for two. "All right, idiot, get on the back."
Ronnie was always one of my favorites and worked for us quite a bit in the 80s and 90s. I'm sure you enjoyed him. All right, I mentioned in this particular episode, we're going to be mixing things up. So here we have a special comedy song put together by Carlos Alazraqui, Reno 911 fame, and also Chris Hobbs, a musician. And the voice you hear helping out with the song is my partner, Bob Stobener. So here we go, the Carl's Jr. song.
Welcome to Carl's Jr.'s. Can I take your order?
When I was 13, hung out at the skating rink, I asked my mommy, what will I be? She told me, you're gonna be a Carl's Jr. burger flipper, polyester brown shoes. I'll even make a bet you're gonna wear a hairnet, always be a loser.
Okay, that's one regular hamburger and one regular fries. You're a boring guy, sir. Can I get you a Coke with that?
When I was 15, girls were interesting. I tried to get me one, but they were so mean. One of them told me, you're gonna be a Carl's Jr. burger flipper, polyester brown shoes. I'll even make a bet you're gonna wear a hairnet, always be a loser.
How about trying our new celery shake?
So don't start acting like you can do anything, when you can't even get a job at Burger King.
Would you like some hard-boiled dog doo-doos? Maybe our special industrial strength Maalox malts.
Now that I'm 23, think I'd be happy, but it's plain to see that I'm gonna be what my mama told me. I'm gonna be a Carl's Jr. burger flipper, polyester brown shoes. I'll even make a bet I'm gonna wear a hairnet, always be a loser. You're gonna be a loser. You're gonna be a big loser. You're gonna be a big loser. You're gonna be a loser.
That's $1.49 at the window, sir.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed that song by Carlos Alazraqui, Chris Hobbs, and my partner Bob Stobener doing the voiceover. A little entertaining music for you. Hey, we're going to jump into some very special comedy. This next set is by Kevin Pollack. He's a very talented impressionist, and I'm sure you recognize the name. He's been in movies like The Usual Suspects, A Few Good Men, and one of my favorites, The Whole Nine Yards. Currently, you can see him in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. He's done 2 of his own HBO specials and is kind of known as a world-renowned poker player. But let's see his comedy and impressionism from back in the 80s, Kevin Pollack.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure to be here tonight. Do you feel it? It's a little frightening. It is. I can tell you about myself. I'm a big movie fan. And I guess the big movie news is that Predator, this film, over the weekend made $12 million, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm a big Schwarzenegger fan. You know, in fact, it baffles me how every year the Academy Awards overlooks this guy. I don't know. What do these people need? A verb? The best news for me, though, would have to be that they're making another Star Trek film. I'm so excited about this. Anything to keep Shatner out of that cop outfit. I'm a big Star Trek fan. I see William Shatner dressed up as a cop on T.J. Hooker. The first time I saw it, I looked at this guy and I thought to myself, this guy had a starship. What does he have now? A Plymouth? Come on. Love the Star Trek films. In fact, I have good news for Star Trek fans about Star Trek V. They've got William Shatner signed to direct and also star as James T. Kirk once again. Having trouble, though, signing all the other cast members from the original cast. So I imagine what it would be like if we had real celebrities to play these other roles. We'll now take you aboard the Enterprise, Star Trek V, in search of cash. William Shatner at the helm. Captain's log. Stardate 247.6.5. Something strange has happened. Since passing through a cosmic cloud, I've noticed a peculiar change in the behavior of my crew, although the faces seem to change. The personalities have altered, yet somehow they seem familiar. I don't know what to do. Kirk out. Mr. Chekhov, warp factor 1. Well, forgive me, sir. Yes, I'm sorry. Oh, don't be afraid. Yes. Oh, down, Mr. Happy, all right. Yes, I'm sorry, sir. It's my counsel acting very strangely. Yes, little dials are spinning, lights are going, help me, help me! All right, Chekhov. Uhura, put him on the screen. Mrs. Spock, analysis, please. Okay, doc. Let me get a closer look. You got me, boss. Spock, what's the matter with you? Use your instruments. Oh, yeah. What am I, an idiot? Uh-oh, it looks like we're being followed. Uhura, try to raise communication. I don't know what's happening. But when I get back from sickbay, I want some answers. Sickbay. Phones. Phone. The ship is being pursued through the neutral zone by an unknown vessel, and my crew was all gone mad. Over 400 men and women on board, and yet I feel no to talk about you, Vone. You gotta help. Well, looky here, boys and girls. Looks like the old captain's getting a little paranoid. Hocus pocus. Captain, to the bridge! Bones, don't leave sickbay. Bridge. Spock, status report. I don't know what happened, Captain. I took a quick trip to the can. When I got back, we were surrounded. Scotty. Damn it, Scotty, man, what's going on down there? I need more power. Don't let him know it's a party. Hey, Johnny, Jimmy, Gregory. It's a bloody party down here. Isn't space the best fun ever?
Kevin is not only a terrific impressionist, but a great actor, and you'll continue to see him in films. He's done so many and more to come. Very, very funny guy, and it was a real honor to get to work with him back in the day. Hey, coming up right now, a special treat. This set was taped at one of our live concerts out in William Land Park called Laughs in the Park. This particular one had over 12,000 people at it, but it is an outdoor family event, so there's a little more noisy and something a little different. This features headliner Jay Johnson. You'll remember him as a regular on the soap TV show. He and his ventriloquial figure, Bob, were very popular throughout the 80s and 90s and still entertain today. He's done several TV specials and worked regularly with a good friend of mine, Harry Anderson. I know you'll enjoy him. Sit back and enjoy Jay Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the featured headliner for this afternoon? Please, a gentleman man you'll recognize from the TV soap where he played Chuck and Bob. He is appearing tonight at the 8:30 show at Laughs Unlimited if you want to see his whole set. How about a nice big round of applause, Mr. Jay Johnson!
Thank you very much. Thank you. They'll chant for anything, won't they? That's great. So, well, welcome. Glad you're here. Kind of like performing for an LA crowd. Everybody's on grass, but I'm glad that nobody's drinking. Those people over there have a great view. Let's wave at them across the lake. How are you? Get here early next time. It's much better closer. I do ventriloquist, and from there, I could be Edgar Bergen. Okay, so it's fine. Well, this is great. Wow, we got a lot of people here, and I am from Los Angeles. I didn't fly in. I've been at the Laughs Unlimited all week. We'll get to you. Get a job. And it's kind of strange being here in Sacramento because the air is much better here than it is in Los Angeles. And so you think that it would immediately feel better, but what happens is you have all that air trapped in your lungs, and you don't get rid of it right away. And I find that even though I've been in Sacramento now a couple, 3 days, I still get that kind of LA cough there that you get, when you do that. I don't know if you get it here or not. Another round of applause. One guy that didn't get thanked was Scott Edwards, who has done all this. Scott, big round of applause for Scott Edwards. Yeah. Scott Edwards, one of the best homosexual club owners you could work for. And, okay, all right. Just a joke. He's not the best. You seem like a nice bunch. Glad you're here. I had to fly in. I'm convinced that what would make news now is a plane that lands with all its parts, That's all you hear anymore is like airplanes that land without their parts. So I figure I'm going to land. So. The one they always show, too, is that Hawaiian Airlines, that landed without a roof. That's a little concerning to me. The stewardess telling right up front, she says, if the cabin pressure suddenly drops, then an oxygen mask will fall from the roof and just bleed normally. They don't cover what happens if there is no roof. But they didn't retire the plane. It's now Hawaiian Airlines. It's called Tan Before You Land. No problem there. So going right in. Because the whole thing, we've had to pass some laws now because of the way the world is. So we've had to pass some anti-terrorism laws. But in America, we don't want to pass anti-terrorism laws because we might want to offend somebody that might be a terrorist living in the United States. So you have to disguise those laws. And the government came up with a great compromise. Came up with a law called non-smoking on airlines of under 2 hours in duration. Have you heard this law? It means you can't smoke from here to L.A. Theory being that no hijacker in his right mind would hijack an airplane when there are 20 smokers that haven't had a cigarette in 2 hours. So it's working. It's working. A friend of mine's an actor. He lost his job, so he tried to apply somewhere else, and he replied right over at the Sacramento Zoo, right over here, just right over here. And they said, well, we don't really have any place for actors. He said, well, I'll do anything. I'll sweep up. Just name it. I need a job. And they said, well, to be honest with you, our gorella's sick. So if you'll just put on this gorilla suit, since you are an actor, and just get in the cage, I don't think anybody will know. So he said, okay. So he got in the cage, and sure enough, Sunday came around, and there wasn't one of these things, so everybody went to the zoo. And there was the monkey, and everybody kind of jumped around the ape there, and being an actor, he felt like he had the crowd. He was doing a performance, so he began to swing real big. And he was swinging bigger and bigger and bigger, and the people are cheering, and they're yelling, and suddenly he gets so full of himself, he falls into the cage with the lion. So everybody runs to the lion cage. Now they start betting on the lion. I have $5 on the lion. Give me the monkey. I want the lion. Monkey, the lion. It's like the big touts are saying the monkey will win. So the lion starts after the monkey. He doesn't know what to do, so he backs up. Finally, he's at the back of the cage. There he is. Can't move. He's ready to scream. The lions come at him. Finally, the lion jumps on his chest like that, puts his claws, goes like that. And the guy goes, help! And the lion says, shut up. You want to get us both fired? That's the Sacramento Zoo. It's not a true story. It's amazing. Oh, you're a nice bunch. We're going to do some ventriloquism here. Bye. What? Are you in here? All right. How are you doing? Good. Here, ready? Don't want any pants on. Get your pants on. All right, this is a family show. So anyway, Bob is not the nasty person he used to be. He used to say nasty things, yell obscenities, but I think this is his kind of crowd, a crowd that would come out for anything that's for free. And so we're glad you're here. Bob, you ready? Okay, let's get him out here. He has been to the Bedford Clinic. He's much different now. Those habits he used to have are much different. But I think you're going to enjoy him, and I know he's going to enjoy you because I'm sure these trees will make him homesick. How you doing? Okay. All right. Good night, Louise. Louise, yeah, you got a girl in there, I take it? I got a girl in there, I took her, really? Yes, indeed, yeah. Met her here in Sacramento. Yeah, just hanging out at the river, taking up driftwood for a good time. I see. Yeah, she loves me. Really? Yeah, she thinks I'm a stud. Really? Yeah. I think of myself as a 2x4. Well, I understand that.
Well, it's hard to come across on a podcast maybe, but he is a terrific and funny ventriloquist. We hope you enjoyed that set from Laughs in the Park in the mid-'80s. So to close things up, as I alluded to earlier in this particular show, is comic musician Robert Aguayo. We've heard him a few times over this podcast. He is a very funny musician out of Venice Beach, California. He was seen a couple times on the TV show The Love Boat, but he's really most famous for his musical entries into the comedy world. In this particular case, we had him write and perform the opening music for our TV series. As mentioned a few times, we had a couple TV series, special on Fox. We did shows for ABC and CBS. In this particular show, Live at Laughs, had a theme song written by Robert Aguayo. Oh, and before I start this, I want to make it clear, this theme song for our TV show was written and performed by Robert Aguayo, but the voiceover, the singing on the piece, is my partner, Bob Stobener. You also heard him as the drive-through voice on the Carl's Jr. song earlier in this podcast. Bob and I go back through many, many years working together in many different companies, but he was my partner at Laughs Unlimited and a very creative guy. He was an animator, did a lot of art. It was the art director for the company, but he also did a lot of voiceover work for our TV show, commercials, and other special things. And I think we should do a shout out for his special talent. So let's hear that and kind of end this podcast, a cornucopia of comedy with some great music. Here we go. Here's the theme song to our TV show. Thanks to Robert Aguayo for writing it and my partner Bob Stobener for singing it. Hope you enjoy it.
Would you like to take a laugh? Have a giggle today. Send your troubles away. Can't you hear me say, come on, let's laugh. Just you and me. Oh, what a time it will be. Ha-ha, hee-hee, you'll feel better, you'll see, if you just laugh. I know a little hideaway where the comics they play all day with a joke for you, or a riddle or two. And any joke they'll say could be a little risky, but hey, you'll never know if we don't make the show, so we gotta go and take a laugh. Have a giggle today. Send your troubles away. Can't you hear me say, come on, let's laugh at Laughs Unlimited. Hey, now what do you say? Come on, let's laugh.
Well, that was a good high-energy way to end this podcast. Cornucopia of Comedy, the sequel. I hope you enjoyed it. A variety of short and entertaining bits from the 80s and 90s, all featured live at Laughs Unlimited or Laughs in the Park, and also heard on our TV show, Live Almost from Laughs Unlimited. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Thanks again for listening to this podcast. Be sure to share it, rate it, and contact me anytime if you'd like to make a comment. Check out the website. We'll see you next week. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Stand-Up Comedy, your host and MC. For information on the show, merchandise, and our sponsors, or to send comments to Scott, visit our website at www.standupyourhostandmc.com. Look for more episodes soon and enjoy the world of stand-up comedy. Visit a comedy showroom near you.